This podcast is brought to you by Cube Gallery, the premier art space in Cebu City. Established in 2013, Cube has been working hand in hand with artists to bring artistic visions and diverse forms of creativity to life. On April 25, 2019, 3 emerging artists are teaming up for Camping Trip, headlined by Reen Barrera, Terence Duarte, and Jepoy Santos. So make sure to visit on April 25. You can email Cube Gallery at info@cubegallery.ph or send them a message in their social media channels, Cube Gallery PH. Let's get to the show. Welcome to 032 Conversations, the podcast where we talk to creatives, see how they live, and how they do their work. I'm your host, Carlo Villarica. Woo, how was your Holy Week vacation, break, religious retreat? How was it? You know what we were up to? We were moving. Yep. Big things are happening in the Villarica household, in my little household. We're moving house. Moving with 2 kids. Yeah, it's such an ordeal. Like I've moved quite a bit in my life. Like I went to Manila for college, went abroad for a year. And even when I was in Spain for about a year. Even when I was in Spain for a year, I think I moved to like 4 or 5 different apartments or houses at some point. And then, I just got used to moving around. Just makes you lose most of your stuff. It forces you to choose what's important and what isn't. But wow, moving with the 2 kids, the 2 kids have more stuff. Each kid has more stuff than me and Steph combined. They have an incredible amount of like t-shirts, pants, toys, diapers, milk. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot that goes with like moving tiny human beings from house to house. You'd think that tiny human beings equals tiny stuff, but apparently it does not. But yeah, that was basically my whole Holy Week break. And the end of April, the last episode of April, I want to do an Ask Me Anything episode, an AMA. So if you, the one listening to this episode, if you want to ask me anything, then just, you can send us a message on your preferred social media site, on Facebook, Instagram. Just search 032 or 032 Cebu, or on Twitter, or you can send an email at info@032.com. I'll put some details in the show notes on where to send the Ask Me Anything question. But you can ask me a question, anything. I did an Ask Me Anything before. I think I've done 2 before. 2 Ask Me Anything episodes before. And they were fun. They were really fun and forced me to reflect on things that I didn't think about for a long time. So, yeah. We're gonna do an Ask Me Anything episode. So go ahead. Ask me anything, send me a question, social media, or email at info@032.com. And this podcast is also sponsored by Scott Pacaldo. Yep, Scott Pacaldo has been helping out 032 for a really, really, really long time. And despite not being in the Philippines, he continues to help us out. He still works behind the scenes. Before, he used to help out with some photography work, social media postings. And right now, he helps by creating content for social media. So I don't know if you follow us on Instagram at 032 Cebu. If you follow us on Instagram, occasionally we will post clips and snippets of previous podcast interviews. So those are made by Scott Pacaldo. So you can reach him at scottpacaldo.com or follow him on Instagram at Scott Pacaldo. That's SCOTTPACALDO. Scott, thank you for sponsoring the podcast. Thanks for all the help that you do behind the scenes. So if you need content, social media help, whatever, hit up Scott Pacaldo. In this episode of 032 Conversations, we talk to Carlisle. His full name is Raven Carlisle Tabanera. I didn't know that. Raven. Like, how he is gifted with two awesome names. Well, three awesome names, to be honest. But like, Raven and Carlisle, those are really cool names to have. Carlisle, as most people know him, is a talented music producer. And then I've talked to, so I'm from the, I guess you would consider now, relatively old school, I'm from the old music community. Like we used to play 10 years ago, something like that. And if I talk to people and I ask them, so who's like a really good upcoming artist? And Carlisle's name comes up quite often, especially in what people would consider electronic music or computer music, because that guy just knows what he's doing. He's really good at what he does. And his body of work shows, because not only does he release stuff under Route 83, but his body of work includes singles by Claudia Barreto, Donnie Pangilinan. You know, he helped out the Sinulog Foundation in the official 2018 remix for the Sinulog song. He's helped out Malaya Makaraeg. He also produced the Binibining Cebu Runway Anthem together with David Kua and Geniel Enriquez. So, this guy knows what he's doing, and I was really happy to have him in the podcast. But before we get to his interview, if you haven't yet subscribed to 032 Conversations, please subscribe. We have a new episode every Tuesday. I talk to a interesting person every Tuesday. And you can subscribe to 032 Conversations on Spotify or wherever you can find podcasts. We're on iTunes, Google Podcasts, everywhere. Everywhere you can find podcasts, we're there. Subscribe. Let's get to that interview with Carlisle.
I didn't realize that Raven Dude was your name.
Yes, that is my name.
Raven Carlisle. Tabanera. That's a cool name.
Yeah, that is right. Yeah, I mean, I get that a lot, but yeah.
Mo ba? Yeah, I saw that like I think it's your Facebook handle, something Raven.
Yeah.
And I was like, wala man na sa mong Facebook page. It's just Carlisle Tabanera.
Yeah. Paano to na akong mag-dummy account where I post private, like, if ever na kayo release and I want to see how it looks like on Facebook, I post it there privately niya. Ano ba? Yeah, I noticed like my Facebook page, it's basically pure your music. Yeah, I'm a very I don't really have anything in my life other than music, so I don't really like. I feel like if I post anything other than music, like there will be nothing because everything music or
Mo ba?
Yeah.
Sige, I wanna dig on that, ba? Because I know that. Kita, I don't think we've officially met.
Oh, we met. Sa Magic.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that was like, 5 minutes of story. Yeah.
I actually saw you sa...
I thought, Room 11. Also, I think one time, kato, you were doing like, I know you were prepping for, what do you call this? Like a not seminar, a workshop.
Oh, yeah, workshop.
Yeah, and you dropped by. I was also there, but basically we both sat down and we were working on our computers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I also saw you Sunday at BTC.
Amo ba?
Yeah, like I was sitting down with my girlfriend, and my girlfriend was like, "Hey, that's Carlo," and I was like, "Oh shit!" And then, I'm sorry, I swear.
Oh yeah, you can swear, right?
Okay. And then my girlfriend told me, just let him do his thing. Because I think you were talking to someone. So I just, we're going to talk anyway on...
Oh yeah, Sunday? Mo ba? Probably was doing groceries or something.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Well, anyway, Sky, every time I talk to somebody about like new Cebu music, but your name comes up, dude.
Really? I mean, I don't notice that at all.
Well, it does. And then I remember that the first track that I came across nga ikaw was that katong Light Me Up.
Yeah,
no?
was that
like the first one that you released?
No, that was third or fourth.
Amo ba?
The pinaka first yun ang release was no, they were really bad stuff, like really old and really really how should I say this? They were not nice to listen to.
Oh, yeah, I mean, everybody starts somewhere, diba?
Yeah, and then eventually I decided, you know what, I'm gonna take them all down. I'm gonna spend a couple of months just practicing, just honing my craft, and then the next or the first that was actually good enough was my remix for Kurt Fix Sahasula.
Yeah.
So that was I guess that was my first official. That I'm proud to say, was my first song, something like that.
So you took out all the
everything else. Yeah.
Because how did you get started? Like, to me, growing up here, I mean, I'm probably much older than you are.
Yeah.
But like growing up here, it was always like rock music.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
And then there wasn't much of at least for me, because back then there wasn't much of an influence for this like electronic computer style music. I remember the first time I heard like electronic music it was techno. It was literally techno.
Techno, yeah.
And then really it was for the dance floor. It was just this repetitive bump.
Oh yeah, I
mean,
bumping
thing.
That, yeah.
So how did you get started? Like, well, how? Let's go to the beginning, daw ka. No?
Yeah. Well, I started playing the guitar when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. And then, basically, I was born into a musical family. My dad was into rock. My mom would listen to my dad's stuff, so it's still rock. And so, my uncle is a pianist. My aunt is a singer. My granddad was a guitar player. He had a collection of guitars, pianos.
So you really grew up in that environment, huh?
Yeah, and then well, on my mom's side, my grandma knew how to play the harmonica, the what do you call the thing? The accordion.
Oh, mo ba na?
And then piano. So yeah, everyone knew. It's like gamay lang about music. So yeah, I was born into that family.
Really? So different musical instruments, good. So there was like, usually like people have this one. They have a tito or a dad. Yeah. They all maybe plays drums, plays guitar, but it's usually just one thing. And then so you grew up with this spectrum of
But the funny thing is, when I grew up, I wasn't really into playing instruments. Like I just listened to songs. Like I would air guitar inside my room, listening to Linkin Park. Yeah, and headbang, all that stuff. But yeah, I think it was the thing that actually started it all. Like if we want to really go way back, it was sort of like by accident. A friend of mine in high school, I think early high school or grade 6, left his guitar with me. So it was about to be padung na to sem break. So I couldn't return it. So I had the guitar. I had to bring that guitar home. When I went home, I was just playing around. Eventually, I got hooked. I was so addicted to it, and eventually, my dad bought me my own guitar. And then from that, I taught myself, and then yeah.
But you're still playing like more acoustic rock folk music, I guess, or what were the things you were learning?
At that time, I mentioned Linkin Park. I was playing a lot of Linkin Park, just learning their stuff, and then eventually Paramore. Who else? I think there was Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. That was their time. Fall Out Boy. Yeah, and then eventually, pagkaabot sa college, that's when I think that was where the pinaka-peak na ko my rock scene or rock phase. Yeah, katunga time, and I was in a rock band with a couple of my friends from UP, and then eventually I by accident pa jud. So we were in Ronda, like in my hometown. It's down south, and my sister was playing around with GarageBand, and then like naminaw ako niya. She was doing like full acapella of the neighborhood. I forgot what the name of the song was, but
The Neighborhood's the band.
Yeah.
The music app. Okay.
I think Sweater Weather.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the name. And then after that, I just took the iPad and just played around with it. And then after that, I get hooked. After when I came back to Dirisa City, I downloaded some stuff. I downloaded software. I watched tutorials. And after a few months, I was just inside the house, not even going outside, just practicing and playing and stuff like that.
Mo ba?
Mm.
So but then like GarageBand isn't really like I feel like it's more like a mixing thing, diba?
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not really
I mean, yeah,
creating music.
It actually has it's actually a software where you can make music. It's not as expansive as Ableton or FL Studio, but for people who just want to make music as a hobby or like to make some random musical stuff, it's a good place to start. So yeah, once I think marag na pulaan ako sa GarageBand, ay nag-download na ko og Mixcraft, and then FL Studio, and then eventually I found my home in Ableton. That's where I produce right now.
But that's why you're producing music. But where did that sound come from? Like the
Oh yeah, that's kind of actually funny because again, my whole life I've been listening to a lot of rock. So when I started making music, it just sounded not rock. I don't know why.
Tama ba?
Yeah, so I like the sound of like these soft synths. I don't know why, but they were just so dreamy. They were so happy. So I guess I think now that I think about it, since I was listening to a lot of rock, a lot of heavy, angry stuff, now when I was making music, it's soft and dreamy, and it's like, oh, this is actually relaxing and stuff. And then eventually, yeah, up until now, I still love making pop music.
Yeah, I remember I talked to si Wesoy.
Oh yeah, Wes.
Yeah. So Wesoy Bacareza, and then he said, "Yun nga, I think you were the guitar player for a while."
I played guitar.
And then I was like, "Wait, that's you're in a punk band."
Yeah, man. Yeah. I was with him.
And then one night, and then I was like, "Oh, okay. There's some weird twist and turn there."
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man. You must have been one of the first that. I mean, at least I'm not like super in the scene anymore, but like I'm just following what I see people release, and it must have been one of the first that I heard nga kind of like pop, modern pop type music. And then I was wondering, I was wondering in my head, where did this
pop song
come from?
Yeah,
you know. Okay, a lot of people like when you're a kid, you just play. You kind of play what you know, ba?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it doesn't sound like when you create your stuff. It doesn't sound like you're doing it for the first time, pagid. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Kanang it, for lack of a better word, it sounds very polished. You get what I'm saying?
Thank you. I mean, I take that as a compliment. It wasn't that way. Since we did. Like, again, I released some very, very bad stuff. And like I just locked myself inside the house. Not literally, but, figuratively. And I just practice. I listen to a lot of songs, different genres, not just pop, electronic.
What are you listening to?
Just random stuff. I can't even remember the artists, the names. I was listening to it like I'm looking at a puzzle. When I listen to it, this sound is doing this. This instrument is doing this. So I figured, and I actually read about it as well later, that the best songs are very simple.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to a lot of pop songs right now, they may sound big, they may sound too much, but they only have like 5, 6, 7 elements, and there's the bass, the kick. So after realizing that concept, I started to trim down my instruments. I started to take away instead of adding up. So what I had left was just, the core sound. Yeah. So my mistake back then was like put as many sounds, as many elements. So yeah. So I guess the reason why it's more polished now is because of that fact that I learned about to take away rather than to add.
Yeah, because I think, when we were, I think the temptation when you're starting out is to put more stuff
exactly,
in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we should add this, should add that. And then sometimes, like, if it's one sound, you end up adding so many, like, effects on it. And then you realize, if you take it all out, you just maybe tweak something in there.
Yeah.
No?
Exactly, yeah.
So now, your main focus now musically is Route 83.
Oh, yeah. That's with Relden company.
Yeah. Your girlfriend.
Yeah, girlfriend.
No? Yeah, tell me about it, man. Tell me about that. Route 83.
So, it actually started in a parking lot. I was performing an event for a friend of mine, and after the event, we went home early. We were planning to go home early, so we were in the parking lot, and she said, before we go home, why don't you start making something right now on the spot under 5 minutes? So she was challenging me. We were very... Bago pa mi nag-ila ato ba?
So ikaw, pa-impressed ka.
I mean, in my head, I don't really want to impress anyone. But in my head, I was trying to, prove myself. I don't want to prove to anyone. I just want to prove to myself. Yeah. You know what? 5 minutes, I've been able to do stuff under 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So I guess I can do it. So, I just played around with some instruments, some samples, and eventually, ang katong akong gihimo dito became Morning. That was our first single as Route 83. So, yeah. And we decided to make a band. Hey, let's make a band.
Did you know that she could sing already?
At that time, she had a voice. I actually met her in a Kali Musica in a studio with her friend. She was with her friend. I was recording Relden's friend, not her.
Yeah.
So I met her. Hey, I didn't really think much about her. She was just a friend accompanying my fellow artist, my fellow my collaborator there. And then her friend actually said, "Hey, Relden can actually sing, or Relden actually has a voice." So I listened to her, and then I was like, "Okay, not bad." But there are some voices that really stick out when the first time you hear it, and there are just those voices that are, they're really good, but, So when I first heard her, she was just good. She was okay. She wasn't really unique. But when at that time, I was actually looking for other singers as well. So eventually one night I decided, hey, I might as well look up ihang mga stuff, tingali na sige pang upload sa SoundCloud or YouTube. Eventually, I found her stuff sa SoundCloud, and they were actually alright. So I said, hey, why don't you, tingali, you might wanna write on these beats that I had, but because she mentioned she was a poet, so I figured, hey, she might be able to write.
So she writes also?
Yeah. Poetry. So might as well try it out with her. And then, she messaged me, I messaged back, DM, and eventually, fast forward to the parking lot, and realized ko nga, she may not have the kanabitang mga running.
Yeah, but sometimes, for me personally, I'm not even a big fan of the kanang, what's her kanang all that American Idol.
Oh yeah.
I notice that I don't listen too much of that. I get it.
Yeah.
I get where it gets impressive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but yeah. So, kato, she may not have that kind of voice, but she had there was a characteristic in her voice that I really liked. It was this soft, but it was a soft voice, but there was this kind of bitang raspiness to it that I really liked. So
there's a character to it.
Yeah. So it's not, kumbaga, if it was too clean, I wouldn't even have bothered to ask her, to sing or all of that. But tungod kina ay gamay, there was, I don't know if it's the right term, or night dirt ba?
Yeah.
Night grit na ay kahugaw sa yung voice that I really liked, that I found endearing. So Mato.
And I also think that's probably what makes it different. That adds that character, I think, no?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Mona. Like I I notice, at least for me, when I listen to some music, there really is such a thing as it's just too clean. It just seems too perfect.
Yeah.
No? So, like, sometimes you listen to a rock track and then it's just super, it's what it's supposed to be. Like, it's super clean. And then, like, there's more, I don't know. It's hard to say, which is a weird thing with music. It's really hard to say why you like something and why you don't.
Yeah.
No? Now, because I was curious about that with Route 83, because you've had a hand in a lot of songs.
Oh yeah, man. That's
like a lot, no?
Yeah, actually, baguro ko nitanaw sa akong YouTube channel, and I was like, oh, damn, like almost 20 songs.
Oh yeah, so all the songs,
but not even that. 20 songs plus other songs that I made for other people.
Exactly. So that's what I was. That's what I was gonna say.
Like, I didn't even realize. Yeah,
No, but like I can tell, like, the work ethic is there. Like, it's crazy. Like, shout out to, I was looking at this interview, the one you did with 6'3" Casual Wear and Spacesuit Special.
Yeah.
And then you had this, I think they asked you in the end, like, what advice can you give? And then you said it's really just keep releasing.
Oh yeah, I think what I said was it's a game of numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, I mona ang work principle I hold on to until now, you know, because I read somewhere make one track, push that track one whole year. Like, you're only makabot ka at some point, but make 100 songs. 2, 3, 4, or 5 of those 100 songs will become hits. So, mana.
But you're also not saying, like, make 100, like, you know, what, like, okay, ganito, himo-himo lang, and then, like, you have a certain standard that you're gonna reach.
Definitely, yeah. So, yeah, correct, that's correct. Like, you don't just make 100 bad songs, but you make 100 okay songs. Like, each song, you get better and better and better and better, you know? So, you learn from the previous song you worked on. Kaning mo po na ako na-realize sa akong self. When I make a song, I put in some elements that I learned from the previous song I did to the song that I'm doing now. So, a lot of the songs, if mamino ka, they're like by twos. This song sounds familiar to, like, for example, Padayon na and Pagmahay, they have this, like, similar vibe, similar koan. Because and then if you listen to Ronda and Light Me Up, they had this similar.
Oh, ba? I'll try to listen to it with that in mind. Oh yeah.
I mean,
so like the feel is similar. You mean, or did you get, like, certain elements good nga?
More like kaning. I feel like since it worked in the previous song, tingali work would here ba. But eventually we evolved it siya.
Yeah.
So to relate back to the katong saying, you don't just make 100, random songs. You make 100 songs, but each song getting better, learning from the previous track.
Yeah, and then releasing it. That's the other thing. Kay, I think one of the traps, especially with music, like back in the day, kay now it's so easy to release a song.
Oh yeah, like, it is.
You really have all the outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was like, okay, wait, let's test this song, and then you're in front of 10 people. and then you're just playing, and then. So, like, the temptation there was to always, like, perfect it. And then what happens lang is that you don't release it na noon. You don't, like, let it go. Mm-hmm. And then just move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I totally relate to that. I mean, I think every artist, not just musicians, they fall into that trap sometimes, painters or, like, other artists. And, yeah, I mean, I've actually fallen into that trap. I actually fall into that trap once in a while. Like, for example, Ronda, my song Ronda was actually in, I like to call it production hell for like a couple of months, 3, 4, 5 months.
So that's really long for you.
Yeah, like when I make a song, I make it in less than a week and then release it 2 or 3 weeks later. So that took a long, long time. And I think it's because we artists really want perfection. It's sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it's a very very detrimental thing to have. But I think it's once you find the balance, it's okay to have. So mato katong ronda, it took me around 4 or 5 months before. You know what? I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna release it rather than letting it stay in the laptop, sitting in the dust. So yeah, wala.
It worked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of because I've actually relating back to what you said, I've met a lot of people na they make a lot of songs, but they just keep it to themselves. Either they're shy, they don't know what to do next, they don't know how to like fix this single section that that like they bugged nila for quite some time. So kana, I think once you know that it exists, mas sayon siya prevent. So mana, when I work songs now, I make sure I finish it as quickly as possible, but without losing its quality.
Yeah. Yeah, but going back to what you said about perfection, it's a good thing in a sense when you try to hit perfection because you're gonna keep trying to get better.
Yeah.
But it's a bad thing when it stops you from really just letting it go, releasing it into the world. No? Yeah, so you talked about like making a song. I'm curious, what's your process when you do that, Bay?
Yeah, well, actually, daghag ways how I started. Sometimes I listen to a lot of music. So when I hear a certain song, oh, I like this vibe. I don't make a song directly or right away after I listen to that song because ang trap with that because you kind of want to.
It might sound like it.
It might sound like it, and it doesn't sound like it. If mo sound but just like it, it sounds too much like it. So I listen to a lot of songs. When I listen to the vibe, okay, I'll take note of that vibe. I'll take note of the instruments, the samples, the sounds, and then eventually, ma storage na sa brain ba? It's there. And when I make a song, I'm bored or kanana, I try to work on nag-abli og cabinet. Unsa tong mga styles nga.
It's like your filing cabinet.
Yeah, my filing cabinet. Okay, I remember this song I listened to 3 days ago. It went kind of like this and like that. So when I work on it, it has a similar vibe, or at least I have something to refer to, but it won't be too much alike. Yeah.
That's smart. So like, instead of, yeah, that's right. Because, so you listen to it, and then maybe you keep it in your head, but you don't listen to it anymore when you're making the song.
Yeah, Anna. Because sometimes I makakuha man po ko, mapalpak po ko na, is it does it sound good? So mamina ko again, and when I come back to the song, oh man, like it's not as good as that, or it's too much alike. So when I try to, once I find a good vibe, I stay away from listening to that song, and then I work on my track. Once mahuman na ang track, or once it's near completion, I listen to the both of them para murag matarong lang level, mixing, and all of that.
But at that point, you're mostly done now with the arrangement.
Maybe mga couple of elements lang nahabilin, because and then another way I start is going through sounds. You know, like sometimes I find this bass sample, this bass sounds nice, so I'm gonna build off of that bass sample. Or if somehow I find a drum pattern, this drum pattern is dope, I can build off of it. So, yeah, I actually, I don't know if, you know, Felipe Kalinawan, Sukoy.
Okay, no, I'll
he's
look him up.
He's actually a mixing engineer and producer as well. He actually put it into words how I do my process. When I described to him how I do my thing, he told me, so you're actually doing it like a puzzle. So I think, so that's how, now that he said that, that's how I look at it, like putting a puzzle. Once I found a good sample or a good sound, I build off of that sound and just put in like a puzzle like that.
Yeah, because actually when you first got here, I asked you about it, about your music, and then as you were saying it, I forgot exactly what you said, but in my head I was thinking, it's like a puzzle. You're like one of those guys who sees the music, but you can kind of
that's
visually.
what I said a while ago.
I don't.
I listen to this element.
Yeah,
this element,
ganun,
this
you put it
instrument.
together.
Yeah.
Which also reminds me I was talking to, I interviewed si Russ Manaloto. Do you know him? He's that guy. He's the fifth member of Urban Dub.
Oh, I see.
No?
Okay.
He's a guitarist. And it's really good. We were talking about some of his gear. And then he said yeah, so this he has his guitar pedal. Yeah, grabe naman kayo ang technology ron. You can like kanang program all the sounds. And then he was telling me, oh yeah, so you can, if you want like a Vox amp nga sound or a Fender nga amp or a Marshall or kaning tube screamer nga pedal. And I realized, I was like, wait, I used to play a lot of guitar.
Oh yeah.
So I have context. I was like, oh, I kind of know what that sounds like. And then it reminded me of the time because I also dabbled in like home recording.
Oh yeah.
No? And then I remember like, so I loaded like a synth in my computer. And then your choices really are endless.
Oh yeah. They are. Yeah.
And then I found it to be problematic. I had no context, like, because I don't listen to that music, so I had no context of the sound. It's like, okay, this sounds cool. I think. This sounds cool. We're so many things there. I don't know now what to do. Like, ba? And then, yeah, so I didn't, how do you like, I guess you just listen to a lot of music, no? Like what you said, no? Like, I was gonna say, how do you categorize all those different sounds? Because to me,
I get your question. I think relating to that point, like when I make a song, a lot of people want to go. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's bad. They make a song without any goal or without any. They just let out their emotions, so to speak. Right?
That's a 90s thing.
Yeah, so they just let out their emotions. But when I make a song, I definitely make sure to let out my emotions and my whatever I'm feeling. But I make sure I have a goal. I make sure I have a direction. Because if I don't, then I just be putting random sounds and they might sound good, they might sound bad, but cannot like. So I think that's what a problem sa a lot of people who get into music production. Just it's so endless.
And I think also particularly with electronic music, because really you can have whatever sound you want.
Exactly, like whatever sound you want. So it's good to have a goal. It's good to have a vibe that you want to emulate or that you want to do. So helpful to katong mamina kog song. Okay, this vibe, I want to do this kind of vibe. So when I make a song, I know exactly the vibe I want, but with the unlimited options I have, at least na-ako'y something affixed ba. So something those unlimited options can hold on to, rather than just jamble, random stuff.
And then I guess so you also don't waste so much time trying different sounds, no?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you put in so many hours just trying to figure out, like, you must have put in so many hours just figuring out, okay, this synth, whatever instrument can make so many sounds, and you're just trying them all out.
Oh yeah, I have, and like on the times burnt out ko or times I'm just not in the mood to make music. Experiment with the instruments that I have, so laptop, some synths, and then just go through the sounds that are in those synths. And just like the songs I listen to, I take note of the sounds that I really like. So, I like this sound, I like this sound, and then next time I make a song, nanakoy meron ako ni abli na po sa akong filing cabinet, this sound, I wanna use this sound on this song.
What are you using, man? Like, so you're using Ableton.
Yeah,
Ableton Gapon, and then, I don't know, here, I'm gonna be so out of my depth at this point. Like, what kind of, how does it work? There are like instruments, programs or something?
Yeah, there are, what you call VSTs, or they're plugins, you can buy or download. So, there are also some free stuff. There's Serum, my pinaka bugat na synth. There's Massive, there's,
So these are all synths. These are all like, plugins.
Yeah. And then there are also samplers or like sample libraries. Yeah. For example, Contact. With Contact, you can download a string orchestra or epic choir, and it's in your hands. Like you can make.
And it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounds good. And then apoy.
How do they do that? They pre-record it, no? They record like somebody doing it, and then
Anna, and then
like some violinist playing a.
Yeah, exactly like that. And then you get to play with the samples that they recorded. So, I think more po din siya mukuan sa like hip hop nga kuan ba. They took out old mga vinyl nga kuan, and then they just pick sounds from the sounds they hear sa.
They sampled it, di ba? So it's like that. Katong one of the songs that I noticed that you guys released was this remix, katong 1,000 Miles.
Oh yeah.
No? And then number one, I thought it was smart. No?
Oh, thank
you.
you.
It's a smart thing to do, and it sounds really good too.
Thank you.
I was wondering, how does that work when you release a remix? Do you have to ask permission? Like, do you have to go to like Vanessa Carlton or something?
Yeah, well, technically you have to ask permission. Not necessarily you go to the house and hey, can I use your song? But sort of like that with music. There are these things called licenses. So if you want to remix or if you want to do a cover, you have to get a license for that song. A lot of people, they cover songs without realizing it's illegal. But I think when you're an established artist or when you're a successful artist and you see people covering your songs, it's fine. It's it's more like free PR, free promotion.
But you got a license for that one.
But yeah, for
because it's up on Spotify.
Yeah, diba? for 1,000 Miles. Because now when I realized we're actually in the business, like I can't really just release anything anytime, and so. Mato, I researched about it, and Relin and I actually paid for a license to remix that song. So there are actually a lot of websites who can do it for you. So what we did is we went to tune licensing, and sa ilahang dito you have like a whole list of songs na there. So you pay them, and then they pay the artist or the label. So more like third party
like royalty something or
So if you would like to remix a song, you just go to those kinds of websites, find the song you want, pay the license fee, and then
okay. Yeah, because I think you're right. But so like a lot of people, they'll just here's my cover of and then they'll play the guitar on YouTube and then technically that's I'm sure they've worked it out somehow. YouTube probably just pays the
with YouTube they actually do it more algorithm na sort of process if you upload a song, you makadetect on YouTube nga, hey, this is actually a song by this dude. They actually collect they collect automatically from that song. It's straight to the artist or the label.
They'll collect the ad revenue of
the although sometimes actually because I had to read about YouTube as well. YouTube doesn't necessarily have to take down the songs. It's really up to the artist or the label. So kanotis mo ko nga a lot of people use my songs sa YouTube. So mo alert man sa akong Google nga, hey, someone used your song. So it's really up to me if I want to take it down.
But you get some royalty from that.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, so you're benefiting from it. Good.
Definitely.
So why problema?
Exactly. So a lot of artists, established artists, not only a free promotion for the songs they made, they're actually earning mga trinket nga.
So on your end, you don't really even care na if they ask permission or not, as long as because it's all automated.
Well, it'd be nice to know. but yeah, I don't really mind because karon nga I'm on my way I'm on my way to the top. It's actually very helpful. People, vloggers, and
I wondered about that, like vlogging in particular, because like these vloggers, they'll just use whatever song sometimes, and then some of them ask permission, some of them don't, but. There's so many. Sometimes they upload every day, and then,
well, there are you sometimes you pay sa mga license, sometimes you go to kanang non-copyright or copyright-free songs, use those, or use your own songs if you're a musician, or kana.
For like YouTube in particular, how do you list your song on YouTube? How do you tell YouTube, okay, watch out for, this is my song?
Well, actually, sa ako, sa TuneCore.
That's part of the service at TuneCore na.
Well, actually, so there's DistroKid, CD Baby, but I use TuneCore, and with TuneCore, automatic na siya sa YouTube and sa Facebook. So if ever may use ang song na ko sa Facebook, cha-ching!
It shows up sad.
Yeah.
And then that's the one that also puts it up on Spotify.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
So that's the whole aggregator. So that's part of that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like, well, I think it's smart to use like, of course you want to release your own music, but every now and then, like a little remix of something, especially with you have you actually have the ability to do it. And I remember like you did that Facebook, video with Reldan, you guys were covering a lot of the local stuff. That was really nice. That was really fun to watch.
It was actually her idea. So I think she's actually a very, very smart and very witty person. And she has this ability to mash up songs inside her head. So whenever we're running sa car and we're listening to whatever song she's listening to, naay part sa song maka sort of trigger niya, this sounds like one. So she starts singing another song on top of that song. So she has that ability. I think some people just have that kuan. I don't really have that. I mean, I can attempt it. I can try to do it, and I have some success with it. But with her, it's almost always like that.
It's just like she's sitting down, not even thinking, and then, hoy, mo na niya.
Yeah, some others, like, she was just playing around with the uke. I can't really recall how it started, but she was playing a very common pop chord progression, and she just started throwing all the songs from all of our friends. The release of Mandarin Nights and Kuan. And each song mato. So we decided, hey, we just upload it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like what's particularly fun I noticed right now in the Cebu music scene is that it's a group of number one, really good music coming out lately.
Definitely, yeah.
No? And then, but the nice thing is everybody seems to be friends. Like they're all. There seems to be this community that's formed, no?
Yeah.
And then you can see it. Like they're all collaborating with each
Definitely,
other.
Yeah.
They're all in each other's songs. Like you in particular, you've collaborated with quite a number of people. How does that work? Like how do you? That's why you just hit them up and you just ask them.
Well, most of the time, yeah. It's like that. When I make a song, I mag-envision ako kinsay mo sing na song because I'm a producer. So before pa kami ni Relden, even until now, mag-envision ako kinsay mo kanta niya song. So it would either be for a client, for a collaborator, or for my sister when she was still around, for Relden. And once I know the vibe, once I figure out, okay, this is the type of vibe I want this person to sing on this. So I contact that person.
And that's when there's like, I guess, a back and forth.
Yeah. Sometimes if nasuwat na ang song, I just, hey, nanay song, you just have to sing over it. Let's make some music.
Do you give them the melody, or just, you give them the melody pagid?
Melody and lyrics sometimes. If katong napa akong sister, and sometimes with Relden as well, if na client or if na ginan mo collab, make a song, make a draft with the lyrics and the melody, and then kana.
Yeah, that's so. Yeah, but like right now, there's so many. Like I even just saw, like Katsuki something posted on Instagram. Yeah, there's silang Kurt Fick, silang Lourdes are all there singing in somebody's song. I think it was Lourdes' song. I'm not sure. No?
Yeah, it's actually a fun community to be in. We are, just friends making music, and some people are closer than others, but, we're just really I think music is our bond. Even though we have different interests, we have different hobbies, but music is the one thing that kind of nakapa-bond namo all of us. And then, yeah, I think Ingani put sa rock na scene before because I've been inside in the rock scene before, and from the limited time I've been with Wes, like, kind of this bigwana, like the bands, even though they still came together and they shared the same passion for music.
Yeah, well, sometimes, nasa na, like, kanang, well, I don't know, before,
I don't know, way back in your time, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, way back. Wow.
from experience with...
Yeah, but sila went, nindot mo na sila kayo, punk, sani. Like, they're definitely, I feel like there definitely were, I don't know, the thing with rock is that a lot of it is also this machismo thing. So sometimes there were really bands nga like super heavy. And then and then kami, I remember we were in a particular heavy band. And then go right after these like super heavy guys. And then like lingaw siya. That definitely was a community kay most of the people that I know in the music scene was really through just being in a band.
Yeah.
Just having fun ba. And it really is fun. Like for me, music was really a fun thing to do. And then but it's so interesting now because back then we were just doing it like lingaw. But even you acknowledge that it is a business. It can be
it is a business.
Like because also it's easier to do what you love if that's also putting food on the table.
Definitely. 100 million%.
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
No? Yeah, so can you talk about that a bit? Like, what are the different avenues these days for artists like you, man, to get an income from it?
Yeah, the great thing about being a producer is making music and getting paid to make music for other people. It's good to make music for your own self, but there's actually there's a feeling, I don't know how to describe that feeling, but I feel successful once akong song maabot aning artist or kaning client and they release it on their own, and then and I'm like, hey, I made that song. So I guess a lot of people also feel that way, like kind of mga managers or producers just want to be behind the scenes and let success do their talking, and kinda like, yeah. What was the question again? I get.
No, so what are the different avenues for kinda like?
Oh yeah,
it's always interesting to me, especially in music in particular.
Oh yeah,
because I grew up in this generation where we're like, your parents would be like, you're gonna be in a band? Yeah, makakwarta ka na.
Oh, yeah.
And then I used to say, makakwarta kami. Pizza and beer.
Well, yeah, back to that. As a producer, I get to make music for other people and they pay me. So, that's one. Another is through gigs. So, with Relden, we perform gigs. And then, royalties. So, even though trinkets lang sila, like mga 5 pesos every number of songs, they still add up. So I guess it's a game of numbers. Even if 5 per song, imagine if you have like 100 songs. So.
And then I wonder, is that something? I guess it will over time. It definitely will add up because you make you release a lot. No, I guess if somebody pays you to make a song, ilan na ang royalty? That's theirs.
Ako, depende sa sabot. Because if I write the music and I have someone write the lyrics, let's say my sister or Relden, so we get the royalties.
Okay.
They get to perform it, so it's really good for them. They perform it every time they want, anytime they want. And sure, makakuha po sila royalties, but for the writers, which is me and Relden or Lauren or whoever is collaborating with me on the project, royalties would.
So percentages, like the performer gets this percent, you guys get this percent. Yeah, these days also, it's easier with like kind of with like I guess with services like TuneCore,
Yeah.
they collate all that. I
Definitely,
suppose.
yeah.
Yeah, wala na in our time, ba?
Yeah, it's the perfect time to be a musician.
You think so?
Yeah, because everything is so accessible. It's so easy. It's so kinda.
When you release a song, do you have like in terms of the marketing of the song when you release it? Is there like steps or?
Depende sa song. For me, I mean, I'm pretty sure there are better ways. There are more efficient ways to handle this. I'm not really the best kind of marketing person. I think that's why Weldon is here. She's very good at that.
Oh yeah, that's her job though, right?
Yeah,
yeah, that's
so,
right.
Kana, when I released a song before, go back to the katang principle na ba, it's a game of numbers. I just release it. And then next song release it na sa.
But when you say release, like just on Spotify, you mean, ana?
Spotify, YouTube, and kana. And
so you release Spotify and YouTube more or less at the same time. And you know what, like YouTube, like lyric video.
Yeah, lyric video or just an audio reaction or like sometimes picture lang. So, kana. And then, but now, mas ni mature na ko. Like, relatively sa kaning music scene, it's good to be prepared. It's good to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. So, Weldon and I actually, although nagagawin ng spirit niya, create a lot of songs, we, at least now, we take time to cramba, hey, ano sa may artwork, ani? When do we release it? Are we releasing it too near to this other artist? Can we release with a date?
Wait, do you know when other artists release also? They'll announce it when they announce.
So sometimes they announce it, so we take note of those. And then, or if na yung mga events, let's say Sinulog, you wouldn't want to release a song right after the day after Sinulog because everyone would be sleeping, everyone would be going. But now we think about possible outcomes, the day, the time.
But like, how about? I'm curious also with the structure of the release. So like, for example, I'm gonna make some assumptions. So so you release a song, it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, lyric video. Sometimes you might shoot like an actual music video.
Yeah.
And then I assume that comes out a few weeks, a month later.
Yeah.
If everything's all planned out, no? And then do you even do the radio tour pa?
Well, I go around some stations once in a while. Although not as kaning, I don't know if it's the right term, elaborate niya, kaning radio tour. And, I know it's important, but some songs are more important than other songs. So, we pick songs, we really put energy and effort sa marketing. So, speaking relating to that radio tour, for Route 83, wala kayo nag-radio tour because she's very busy with work.
And then I would assume the thing with the radio tour is that it does take up a good chunk of time.
Yeah, it does. So, depende rin sa mo invite na mo nga asa mga station yung wag to. And then, yeah, that's it. Because I know that radio is important, but I know a lot of our audience na sa internet.
Oh, yeah.
Wala na disregard on radio because a lot of our listeners, they have just so good sa radio. But dili kami mo put blood, sweat, and tears, everything. So we know the songs that we want to push sa radio and songs we just want sa internet lang.
Yeah, and then with the internet, it also, I'm gonna assume that's because that's a real revenue source. Also, how much is it now? Like for 1,000 listens on Spotify or something? Is there a figure there?
For every listen, I'm not sure. I'm just from what I recall, 0.0036 or 0.006. I can't really
cents, but yeah, like 0.006 cents.
Dollars, cents.
Dollars na. But like really.
Yeah.
It's nothing. Like, you have to get, like, milliones.
So, I actually had a friend who got around 100,000 plays. And in those kind of 100,000 plays, 200,000 plays dito, he got around 25 to 30K,
dollars. Or
pesos,
Sorry, pesos.
So that's like around $600 So, it may be small if you think about it per play, but when
if it adds up, okay,
adds
kaya.
up, it's a lot of cash. So,
especially if you're here in the Philippines,
Yeah, imagine if a million plays, a million times 0.0036. That's like, and in dollars per dude, that's like, I don't know.
Do you notice, but if your plays, do you get like those? I know if you go to Spotify and then you click the artist, you'll see like the number of plays.
Oh yeah.
For that month, no?
No, for that.
The monthly placement, average monthly placement, or something.
Yeah. So with Spotify, there's this thing called Spotify for Artists. So it's like Spotify for Artists. So that's where you go to when you release music as an artist. So there makita sa stats, where people are listening, where or gender, age, and the type or the amount of plays per month or per week.
So you have like you can see what your plays were February 2018.
So
like last year.
Actually detailed kayo ang statistics. So it's actually very very insightful.
You can tell also which songs are doing well, where most of your plays are coming from.
Definitely, yeah.
That would be so cool to see.
Yeah. And it's very gamit ang statistics. Like you're not blind. You know what song like you mentioned. You know what songs are hitting with people and.
Do you have anybody helping you do all of these things? Because I know like, of course, you're putting a lot of focus and energy and effort into making the music, no? But getting the music out there is another thing entirely. Is somebody helping you with that?
Individual nga kanang isa jud kabuk tao, wala. But there are a lot of people nga rather than we manage ourselves. But if the question is, do we have one person who will help us out? We have a lot. There's Jude Gitamundok. There's Alex Lim. There is Katsi, and then there's Cheryl Pajes Alba, and her family. And
what have you done for them? I I don't know what have you done, jingles and stuff, Anna, for the Pajes.
No, it's actually it's an interesting story because also Anthony Feliciano. I don't know if you know him, but yeah. So Anthony listened to my track I Don't Love You. That was a couple of years ago, 2 years ago. He contacted me. We got to meet up and talked about music and stuff, plans. He mentioned, hey, do you know Cheryl? And then she wants to meet you because she's been looking for you, since she heard your songs on radio. So we met, and actually, my sister and Cheryl actually got really close. So I don't know, my sister is very friendly. So eventually, she would invite us out. We get to hang out with celebrities.
She has that. I'm not a celebrity person. She has that katong friend or cousin celebrity sa, di ba?
Yeah, mga Barreto. And we got to hang out with a lot of cool people because of her and her family. And yeah, we're forever grateful for her because not only she gives us a lot of fun, but support gives us some music. Yeah, Marsha, older sister we never had, or like,
Oh, that's cool, right? No, it's nice that everybody's like there's this community forming, and then I don't think good it's just this one thing or one person that's gonna make the community or make the whole music scene better. It's like everybody just putting their work in.
Oh yeah, it's a collective effort, and although although people are now more closer now, there's still a lot of cliques, this group kay yani na type of music, this group kay ani. So for us, for Cebu, for the Cebu music industry to ask, for me personally, if we want it to be really how do you for it to really explode, nindot if we get together and push it together. Because right now, especially katong you mentioned about, am I allowed to say it?
Sure, whatever you want to say. Yeah.
with the Vispop
Oh,
thing.
the Vispop thing. So yeah, now we were talking about that a little bit when you arrived.
Yeah, now when you think about it, I mean, di man jud na makuha. There's a lot of ego and a lot of pride in with artists and musicians. Di man jud na malikayan, but if we were to somehow find a way get together, tanan strengths, tanan resources together, we could definitely be on par with Manila.
Oh, for sure. I think so. Like, I think a lot of the thing with like Vispop in particular, it seems like there's a problem with like the fairness of it. Of one side basically not being fair. No? Yeah, I don't know if we can expound a little bit more than that though. No? But yeah, no, I agree with you, Bay. But I also think magud nga it's kind of like human nature. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
We all have like different groups.
Definitely, yeah.
And then it's not necessary. I mean, it's a bad thing when one group is fighting another group, no? But it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's like diversity.
Oh, yeah, diversity is great. I think what I mean was more an event or events more showcase what we have. Like, perfect example, BMF.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good starting, a good initiative from Jude and from the Pop District people.
Group. Yeah.
And yeah, it was actually a good thing. And another thing would be kaning Songs of Summer from Katsuki and 22 Tango. So that's a good place where people from different cliques to actually
get together
and play in the same event. And
no, like the Bisaya Music Fest. I think that was the first time I saw you play live.
Yeah. Okay. That was actually that wasn't actually our best performance.
I think actually I have a theory about that. Like there's some music and some acts that are and then I feel this sometimes like there's some acts like like let's say anthem rock. The bigger the crowd, the bigger the stage, the better, And, but there's some the vibe is you need a smaller room.
Yeah, definitely. So, katong event, we were still very young. Kami ni Relden sa not only sa our relationship but with Route 83. So we were still figuring out some of the dynamics na mo ani. Before Route 83, I had .fc with Fresh, with the manager and friend. So, kato, it was a sort of hip hop pop Afrobeats act. So, the music in itself, it was actually really getting for crowds,
jumpy
and really wild, so to speak. With this though, it's more pop. So katong time, I was still more bitaw. I don't know if it's the right term, hungover from .fc nga, where naanad yung okay ra nga ang music is in itself ba, na walay anything. So we were thinking, hey, why not dance? Ano ba, like a pop act would. Like, Demi Lovato or Selena Gomez, they would dance to their kuan. So, we realize it, karon nga, looking back at it, it's not as entertaining. So, kind of like, right now, like, figure out how to make it more entertaining, how I can interact more with the instruments, with her, with the audience. Because before, I would just play, and then just kind of play and vibe over the song together with Fresh, and now,
and that particular song or that type of music really just it worked for that. So you think like the Route 83 stuff or that song in particular maybe a different approach you think would have been better?
So if that song, if we played that event with a band, it would have been a bit livelier. It would have been a bit more entertaining.
You think so?
Yeah, because...
Have you guys played recently? Some of these smaller gigs, like a draft punk thing?
Well, we're gonna perform around March 15. That's what Relin and I are very excited about. We've been preparing a lot for our next gig, which is gonna be that. Because like for the past couple of months, we've been reflecting on that among performance si BMF nga. Man, we could have been so much better. We could have showcased our music better. So, in the past few months, sige lang may gandam, like plan me how to do our set this March 15. So, yeah, actually, akong busy right now. I haven't really made kaning new jud nga song, but sa mong set, I'm trying to make it livelier.
That's cool, okay. I'll be honest with you. When we were playing in our band, we never thought about like everything that you're saying. There's so many things that you're saying that I keep thinking, more like, wow, like we never thought about any of that. And then I feel like we probably should have. No, like we came from that. We came from the school of just show up.
Oh yeah,
rock out on and then that was, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was like super fun to do.
Yeah.
No, and then just but I think it would have been cool to put more thought into it, and which sounds like that's what you guys are doing. And then you're really, I think we forgot, at least my band, we forgot that it's a performance, that there's other people there, that you kind of want to. In a way, it's more than the music, no?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, yeah, more than the music, in that moment ba?
Yeah.
It's entertainment also.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. Well, flashback na akong katong time nag-perform. So, like, I'm like, oh, man.
No, I think, what's happening March 15? Like, I don't think this episode will be out by then. What's happening? What's the event?
1 Click Straight.
Is there a theme for the event? Or?
Oh, so 1 Click Straight is a band from Manila.
Ah, okay.
So,
so you guys are like...
front act, and then we're gonna perform with Tibia Times and Madawi Nights, and 1 Click Straight, yeah. So...
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's fun for me to talk to like the younger artists.
Yeah.
Because you guys... as a whole, seems so much more mature. When you guys are playing, like you, as a whole, I feel like, I don't know, I mean, maybe more mature than at least we were, as in my band. I don't know about other people, I don't know about my generation. Well, at least for my band, like, you guys are thinking about so much more stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No? And it's just cool to see. You mentioned earlier, so you've been putting your efforts into figuring out like the performance aspect of it, no? So how do you balance that? Because I know that creating music and performing, they're really two different muscles.
Yeah, that is so true. And mauna akong na miss out before. Like before, I used to just rely on how I'm not, being big-headed here, but I used to just rely on how good the song is para lang ma-entertain ang people. But after a few gigs, I realized you know what, I need to change up at least the live version of that song para lang exciting gamay. Because if we just perform it like how it is pag-release namo, it would be just like pressing play and that's it, listening with the audience to what you made. So, we're putting a lot of effort into making it different.
Yeah. That was my question actually with si Fonzie, si Tony.
Oh yeah,
Tony Alfonso. So he was one of my earlier podcast guests. So when he was still here, I think he's in Canada now.
Oh yeah, he's in Canada. Yeah.
So when he was still here, because he came from when his band Drop Decay were still playing, we were also playing, and then I knew him. We're like, hey, this is punk rock kid now is now doing like electronic pop music. So I wanted to talk to him about that, and then ask him the difference, but because me being old, like I didn't know how does that translate live, no? Because with the band, you can fall back on all the action that you're doing to actually do the music, the loudness of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's entertaining just to see somebody play drums well, and it's just drums, you know.
Exactly, yeah.
And then so I was really curious about the electronic music portion of it, no? Okay, yeah. How does that? I guess that's what you're figuring out. Also, like, how do you translate that live?
I've actually read and watched the videos in the past couple of months how to do it. So a lot of people, they DJ. So if you're an artist, an electronic music producer, let's say Kaigo or Skrillex or Diplo, you DJ. So that's one thing. Another would be...
Wait. Sorry. What do you mean you DJ? Like you just...
Yeah, you DJ your set.
Amo ba? So they're just playing it?
Sort of. But I think with added flair of like, standing on the table and like all of that stuff with the filtering knobs and all of that. And I guess DJing is different. I mean, performing is very different from production, and DJing is one way to do it. Another would be to actually live play some instruments live over the track. Let's say Kaigo before he used to just DJ, but he actually had the same dilemma as me. I'm sorry, and he mentioned that he was actually bored playing just DJing, so he actually wanted to play like the piano when he performed. So I played it over the track. So he took out some elements, and then he edited the song a bit just so that it's different from the radio release. So, and like that, yeah. And then some they use the pads. What do you call that thing?
Those pads can wear that light up.
Oh yeah, the launch pads.
Those are cool. They look nice. I have no idea how to use it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've had a couple of friends who like showed me how to do it. So it's not that easy. It's actually a real performance.
That's like a real instrument. It's
sort of like a real instrument. They treat it like a real instrument. You just don't press play and then just there's actually a performance in pressing those buttons.
Yeah,
it's like pressing a piano, but these are buttons.
Oh no, I've seen I remember watching like videos of I guess they would be considered MIDI controllers.
Oh yeah, MIDI,
and then it's impressive. Like even just watching, they just put a camera on top. Good, it's just their hands really, and it seems complicated. No, and then me because I don't know anything. It looks really cool. Like lingaw kay siya.
There's actually a lot of time. You actually have to put in a lot of time to prepare that as well, because you have to prepare the samples in each cube. So there's a lot of time and effort in that. So you can't just say it's pressing play or pressing buttons. I've heard a lot of people say, just pressing buttons, pressing play, pressing all of that. There's a lot of time and effort in putting together that performance. But
yeah. Well, I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to get a better understanding. But I'll be honest. Like, I even showed it a little bit kanina. When it's like, so just DJing, so they're just playing their songs.
Oh yeah, well,
So I'm showing a little bit of my ignorance, but I motto like when I came from that like generation where like you go to a club and then there's a DJ. Like, he's just pressing play.
Yeah, the funny thing is I was actually in the same position like that position before or atong bago ba ko start. That's my mentality. Like, they're just pressing play. They're just like glorified spacebar pressers or like so but when I started getting into music production, oh damn, this is not as easy as it seems. And although DJ is it's sort of pressing play. It is sort of pressing play, but ang kuan nun is kailangan you have to have the ability to read a crowd. You have to have the ability to know which songs sound good next to each other. You have to have the ability to know how to transition from one song to another song. You have to be good at how to handle your controller, put in all those effects, those knobs, how to transition better, how to how to keep a party going.
Yeah, okay. Back in the days when I was I used to I was gonna say I was forced to go to clubs, but
yeah,
I used to go there, and then you could tell if it's a bad. I mean, if it's a good DJ, you're just partying, you're lingaw kayo, you can't tell anything's happening. Definitely. When it's a bad DJ, the vibe just stops.
Yeah.
Or like, what's what's with this? And, So, yeah, something, I feel like something I've never really thought about. No? That's why I'm really interested. Kato, when you were still doing like .fc and I'd see pictures, I was really interested. I really wanted to know what it would feel like to be in like one of those gigs. Like those smaller, the smaller ones, good. No?
It was really fun. It's different when it's a crowd. It's also different when it's intimate and a bit smaller. Because there's a connection with the people who's there nadiha, and if it's a small room and they freak out and they go wild, it's really wild because you're in very, very
all that
close.
Energy is contained.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good way of putting it. All that energy is contained, and mas mo amplify like the good feeling that you have. But of course, it's also very nice to perform for a big crowd.
Oh yeah, but
this was very special to perform for a small crowd.
Yeah. One, I think those are two different things, ba. Like with the big crowd, you can't use the same tricks.
Oh yeah.
With a smaller crowd, like you'll feel like, okay, this song carried over really well in this small bar, or whatever.
Yeah.
But you go to the big one, and then it's very different.
Yes, that is so true.
Yeah. That's why, like, you see those, like, anthem rock type, like Queen, like, that one really...
Everyone's just singing along, clapping along.
Yeah, so wait, I know we talked a lot about some of the opportunities that music has given you, diba? But is this your full-time thing?
So far, yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That is so cool, bhai. That is so cool. So, like, really just doing the like, the different, kato, like you were saying, the different sources of income, revenue from Ana, and just putting it all together. Yeah, kaya ra gyud. So, kaya na gyud kaya these days, oy.
Yeah,
I mean, you have to be really good. I feel like you have to be really good.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to make it sound like it's too easy, but
yeah, of course.
No, but so kaya na gyud.
I actually watched this video. It's actually it also opened my eyes. Before, you used to have the starving artist or the very successful artist.
Yes.
Only those two. But karon at this day and age, they're nanay middle class. So a lot of people can actually make a living out of it now. Yeah. I mean, you definitely have to have a lot of talent and luck and resources to actually be on top and be a star.
And hard work.
And a lot of hard work. But if you're content with making money or making a living out of your music and you don't really care for a lot of the drama and the spotlight, you can make a lot of money with music. Yeah. If you know where to find it.
Yeah, because I think one of the things that you've been really good at is making a name for yourself in that sense, like amongst the people, especially amongst the people in music. So that's why people want to get you to make make their tracks, no? Because that's not hard to do. I mean, that's not hard to. It's hard to do. I'm sorry, the opposite of what I said. It's hard to do, no?
Yeah.
And then, because, when did, correct me if I'm wrong, di ba katong that, that track, katong that Light Me Up, was that the first thing, Amurag, that reached the consciousness of
Oh
other
yeah,
people?
it
What
was.
did it?
Yeah, it
What
was.
year was that? 2000.
I actually released it December 2016. I remember December 11, 2016. I still remember that day. Was it December 10? Oh, it was December 10 or 11. But
Okay.
it was there. But
Seems like you remember it pretty well.
but I released a song before that. It was called Good Morning Cebu. And people, or at least my classmates, really liked it. So I thought it was at that time. Oh my god, people actually like my song. I wasn't that me, that version of me. If he had seen what I have seen now, he would be like, "What?" He would not believe. Tungod lang sa Light Me Up. So after Light Me Up, everything changed. Like,
it's 2016, you said? No?
yeah, December 2016. But on January 2017, ni-contact Y101 ako. Hey, we heard your song. Come over to the station. We're gonna play your song in a bit. It was like, holy mother of music. And then I was scrambling. Hey mom, like my song's gonna be played on the radio. I told my sisters, and I was inside my car, and when it played, oh man, the emotion and the like, it's different. You know, the first time hearing your song on the radio, it's like a different experience. It's like giving birth to a child, or I don't know. It's very different. It was very special. Yeah,
that's cool because you didn't know anybody there. They sort of just. I remember. I'm not sure if the story is correct. Like the DJ's daughter or something.
That's it. Yeah,
and yeah, turned him on to it, and he liked it, and yeah,
that's it.
Diba? That's what happened, right?
So, actually, Paolo de la Victoria told me about this. That Rain Songalia, daughter of Chad Songalia, the DJ in 101, she, I don't know how, but she listened to my song. Her father, Chad, got to hear it. He digged it, and when he asked where that song came from, Sibura de Ay, he's like, you know.
Yeah, and if you think about it, that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
It's like, what, December 2016, so that's like less than 3 years ago. No? And then you've just been... Yeah, and you've just been like working your ass off ever since. Like you've released so many tracks in that span of time. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, your generation now is doing so much. I feel like you guys are thinking about it in a much higher level than at least my friends. I don't know if other bands at the time when we were still a band was also thinking about it in that sense, no? Okay, you guys are thinking a lot about like not only the music part of it, the performance side, nasa pagi like the whole like how do you make a living doing it? It's a real possibility ba?
Yeah, it is. One thing to note with relating sa yung ganyan is katong people go to me to make one na may nakakuha ng our principal. I don't know if someone has said this before or if I'm inventing something new, but for me, the product is not the song. The product is the artist. The songs are just like flyers or billboards. More like pushing the artist. Because if you look at, say, Taylor Swift, if you want Taylor Swift to like appear in your ad, you're gonna have to pay her $100,000-$200,000 or something like that, right? But or let's say if you want her to go into your event, people will pay just to see her. Bisag mo kanta siya or day. So, relating to my music, I know that if I become a brand, or once I know that once I become synonymous with excellence, people will go to me consistently. I will have clients consistently. So, mana ako ang principle. Like, gonna be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, have you heard that? Like, I think it was Jay-Z.
Uh,
I'm gonna quote the rap artist.
Yeah.
I think he said this.
Mm.
Have you heard of the quote? I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there, like that. That's yeah. I'm a business man.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's a good place to end, by.
Mhm.
Do you want to add anything? Anything? What's coming up for you guys?
Yeah, we have a couple of gigs. We have a lot of songs on the way, an EP on the way. Yeah, a lot of music on the way. I guess that's it.
Are the songs out there already, or are you still making them pa?
I know some songs are almost done.
Uh-huh.
Some songs are still in the works,
Uh,
but they're definitely gonna be part of an EP. Yeah.
they're coming out soon, good for
Mhm.
sure. Sige, sige. Well, thanks for doing this, by. Where can people find you on the internet?
Yeah, so you can follow me personally sa akong stuff, Carlisle Music. So if you wanna make music, and if you have the cash to do it, yeah, contact me. Let's make some music.
This is on Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook. So Carlisle, Carlisle Music. And if you want a song written or produced for you, we can do it for you. And then you can follow us at Route 83 Music. So that's ROUTE 83 Music on Facebook, Spotify, and Instagram. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, thanks, bye.
Thank you very much for having me.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of 032 Conversations. I always have a bias towards interviewing musicians in the show, or artists, or music artists. I don't know. It's showing my first love in terms of interests and art. Music really doesn't go away for me, it seems. I don't listen to music as much as before. Like, obviously, when I was a teenager, early 20s, you listen to a ton of music. But still, it never goes away. That interest is still there. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that episode with Carlisle. It was really fun to talk to that dude. And again, next week I'll be hosting an Ask Me Anything episode. So please, if you want to ask me anything, go ahead and send me a message on any of our social media channels, 032 Cebu, or 032 on Facebook, 032 Cebu on Twitter or Instagram. Or you can even hit me up on my personal Twitter or Instagram at Sober Musings. Or if you prefer email, send your question to info@032.com. That's 032 in letters. I'm excited to see what questions people send. The music from this podcast is Piano March by Audionautics. If you want to support the show, there are 4 ways to do so. You can become a Patreon subscriber. Head on over to patreon.com/032 and become a patron. Become a patron and help us keep the show going. Or you can buy 032 merchandise at the Assembly online. Head on over to assembly.032.com. Or really, if money is tight, I totally understand. So the third and fourth way that you can help support the show is share this episode on social media or leave a rating on iTunes. Those help us get more listeners and help the show chug along. So with that in mind, I will continue to chug along and get ready for the next episode that's coming up on Tuesday. Remember, send me your messages. Ask me anything. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.